So by now, everybody at this point has probably seen that video with Will Smith getting on stage and smacking the shit out of Chris Rock, and it's a lot of things that we could go into, but I just want to talk about just one principle. As a man who has put women in positions that they didn't deserve, and then provided protection and provision for them, I could tell you that if we just look at it from the point of protection, all right, I'm not saying whether it was right, I'm not saying whether it was wrong, I'm not saying that the intentions were there, whatever. I'm just talking about just from the position of, all right, I'm going to protect my woman, right? So only a woman that deserves that provision and protection gets that, period. I mean, and just from what I've seen, like first off, let me just say, if a woman cheats on you, you don't have a woman. Like she's not yours. I mean, so she no longer once that goes there, she no longer gets that provision and protection. So whether you feel like you should smack somebody or shoot somebody, whatever you got to do. Like I said, I'm not here to judge how the situation was handled. I just want to touch on the principle of provision and protection only has to be earned. And I just don't feel like in and it's just my personal opinion, I don't feel like in their situation that Jada deserves that provision and protection because she cheated. You know what I'm saying? Like if there is one reason that you could put away a woman for being in a relationship, it could be is cheating, and which means that she no longer deserves that provision and that protection. You know what I mean? And the same for the man. You know what I'm saying? Like if you make that vow, you know what I mean, that it's just gonna be y'all and you, like whatever came with that submission that she was, you no longer deserve that. You know what I'm saying? If you made that vow to only be with that woman and nobody else, and you do away with that, you no longer get those benefits that come with that vow that you made. You know what I mean? So that's all I wanted to really come here and say is that provision and protection only applies if the woman has earned that. In the minute that she's no longer earning that, she no longer gets that. You know what I mean? Period. So, as a man, like I said, I'm talking about this from experience. It's a lot of men that are going to come over here and talk about this situation who haven't put an unworthy woman in that position. You know what I'm saying? And good for them. You know what I mean? Because they didn't have to find out the hard way of what that entails. You know what I'm saying? And then there's other men that have put a woman that didn't deserve that and was providing and protecting for that woman. So the thing that I want to touch on is that if first off, like I said, if a woman cheats on you, you don't have a woman. That's not your she not yours. She for the streets or for that other man. I mean, and you need to let her have him or let her go back to the streets or whatever. You know what I mean? So, I ain't even gonna say a woman that cheated on you is for the streets. I mean, you could have just been, just doing a bunch of beta shit and she just couldn't take it no more. You know what I mean? But regardless, I mean, and then there's some women that do cheat that are for the streets. Give them back to the streets. You know what I mean? Like, one of the things I talk about in my book is about not holding on to a situation that's not working. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times guys have invested so much, you know what I mean, into a situation that they feel like they can't let go. Like they feel like there's nothing else they can do. You know what I mean? And then they come, you know what I'm saying, man, they come under this thing of love, and it's like you got to love yourself more than anything. You got to love yourself more than anybody. And if you're not feeling that love for yourself, then you're destroying yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like really. But yeah, the main thing I wanted to touch on here is just that, especially if you're married. Like I've never been married before legally. Maybe you could call it common law. I think the no, I haven't even had a relationship that was 7 years long. But anyway, if you have a wife and she cheats on you, she don't deserve that provision and protection. So when I seen this whole situation go down, I was just like, it don't even matter necessarily how he handled the situation. Just me personally, I wouldn't even have done that. I wouldn't even been sitting next to. I wouldn't. I can't even address. Hard for me to address this whole situation because, in for me, like once you do that, like it's over. There is no more you sitting next to me, being in my presence. None of that. You know what I mean? So but if you are gonna, you know, uh, being a wife has is not a title. You know what I mean? Being a husband is not a title. It's action word. You know what I mean? Being a wife means that you're putting in the work to be that. You know what I mean? You're putting in the action to be that. You know what I mean? A lot of people, they get the ring or they get married and then they feel like something should change. Like no, all that is just. Matter of fact, I would even dare say this is saying that that the woman has earned that spot. You know what I mean? She's earned that spot. Women outnumber men 8 to 1. That means you've earned that spot to be called wife. You know what I mean? So it comes with all the actions that 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 entail you be a wife. And the minute them actions stop, then you're no longer a wife. And so you don't deserve that provision and protection. So yeah, I'm using this situation, but like the minute I seen it, this was the first thought that came to my mind. Like she don't deserve that provision or that protection. She don't deserve for. She don't deserve that. She don't deserve Will to be standing up for her like that. You know what I mean? Why don't you go? Why don't you go tell one of them other niggas to come slap Chris Rock for her? You know what I mean? That's just me, man. You know what I mean? And like I said, I've been there. I've been there. Even after the cheating and stuff, still trying to make a situation work. You know what I mean? Still trying to be with a person, trying to work it out. Finding myself doing more, thinking that I'm gonna get more, just to get less and less. You know what I mean? So takeaways from this: if she don't deserve provision and protection, if she don't get it, you know what I mean? She don't get it. And then another thing is too, like never let your emotions come over you so much. Like this that wasn't worth it. You know what I mean? That 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 wasn't worth it. Like, come to career wise and all of that, you know what I'm saying? Just in my opinion, that wasn't worth it. I mean, getting so emotionally, because I've done that too, man. Like, you can't be so in your emotions that you do something that could possibly, um, especially ruin your career. Do I think that's gonna happen? No, that's not gonna happen. Like Will is the man, bro. He ain't going nowhere. And from what I even heard, like the LAPD hasn't even received a police report, so it's not like Chris Rock is like filing any charges or anything, as far as I know. But like I said, the takeaway is if she don't deserve that provision and protection, she don't get it. You know what I mean? She don't get it. She don't deserve for you to go defend her like that. I don't care what she got. You know what I mean? She wouldn't think about none of that shit when she was with the mother dudes, when she was, you know what I mean, when you was being all embarrassed and in public and all of that, man. Don't none of that stuff matter. Now, you know what I mean, and then so yeah, man, it's a lot more I could say about this, but keep your emotions in check. You know what I mean? Cause like, man, we all get angry sometimes, man. I get angry sometimes, and I, you know what I mean? And you can do things out of anger. You know what I mean? But if control your emotions. But if at the very least, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna do something like that for a woman, make sure she earned that. You know what I mean? Like, don't be protecting a woman who hasn't earned that. Don't be providing for a woman who hasn't earned that. You know what I mean? So those are the two takeaways. You know what I mean? She don't get the protection and provision that she hasn't earned, and control yourself. You know what I mean? Um, it's a bunch of other stuff. People talk about whether it's real, whether it's fake. Um, you know, uh, did he do it because she kind of like, cued him, like he was laughing at first? I ain't really getting into all of that because like the principle I want to take from here is if a woman cheat on you, then she don't deserve provision and protection. You know what I mean? And control yourself. Like you shouldn't like, control yourself. I mean, one thing that really makes a man is emotional control, the ability for him to control himself. I mean, so that's all I wanted to get on here and say.